plank. Is it an exercise that is making you strong and really helping you, or is it doing more damage than good? A lot of the time, the plank is doing a lot of damage, guys. If done incorrectly, you're putting a huge amount of force and pressure through joints which don't need it. So if you are locking your elbows, for instance, you're really hurting and damaging the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, the neck area. If you're hanging there with your neck down between your shoulders, you're going to be hurting your spine, your cervical spine. And the same for your lower back area. So let's learn to do the plank correctly to get completely the most amazing benefits out of this exercise. The plank. Is it good or is it bad? It is one of those exercises that, if done correctly, is an incredible exercise to do to help strengthen up your core, your shoulders, your neck, your back, etc. However, if done incorrectly, which it's mostly done incorrectly, will do more damage than good, guys. So I want to teach you how to do this beautiful exercise correctly. All right, the full plank is usually done on your hands and toes. Now I'm going to show you how it's done incorrectly, and then we'll work through the different levels. So a full plank is having your legs out, your hands underneath your shoulders, your neck lifted. If you're doing this exercise with your elbows locked like that, it is taking so much pressure through the wrist, the shoulder, and the neck. Okay, so you're just damaging the shoulder area. You're not doing any good there. If you are hanging your head, you're hanging on that cervical spine, which, guys, is really bad for it. If you're dropping your hips like this, you're putting a lot of pressure through that lumbar spine. Now, I often see it where people are doing it in this position, elbows locked, head down, and like that. Guys, it is absolutely terrible for your spine. So please stop doing it like that. You can start a plank from scratch. The first position we can do is a nice baby plank where you can bring your hands slightly forward in front of you, tighten up your core and drop your hips to here. Now when I say drop your hips to a neutral, I don't mean down to the floor where you've hyperextended that lumbar spine. I want you to tuck the tailbone under a little bit so you feel the tummy tightening, then drop your hips to a neutral position. So that's neutral, in line with your ear, shoulder, and hip and knee. One long line from the ear down to the knee for me. You can hold this. Watch the elbows don't lock, guys. If you hyperextend your elbows, you're causing more problems than good. Okay, so you can hold this for as long as you feel comfortable, anywhere between 10 seconds to a minute, right? The next plank is on your hands as well, tucking your toes under and going into a knee lift. Now tighten up the tummy muscles and lift your knees so that they're just high enough above the floor that you could slide a piece of paper underneath those knees. Again, things to watch out for here: elbows, neck, sinking between those shoulders, lumbar spine dropping like that. Keep your spine in neutral and keep pushing away from the floor. Okay, so you can hold it in that position. Work on those two before going into your full plank position to ensure that all the right stabilizers are firing up correctly for you. Okay, now when you're about to get into a plank position, I'd like you to push those hands into the floor for me. Sink the fingertips into the floor. So you creating sort of you have an active hand. It's like really engaged into the floor. Have a look at your elbows, please. If you are a knee locker, you're more than likely going to be an elbow locker. So watch that those elbows aren't pushing forward like that. I need you to have the insides of your elbows, this part of your elbows, facing in towards each other. Now from there, you're pressing into the floor, and I want you to pull the arms back towards you. Now, if you can watch carefully, as soon as I do that, you should see something, or you should feel something engaging just in this area. Now that is stabilizing the shoulder for you, okay? Keep that nice strong position. Watch the neck, please keep it lifted. Think of balancing something on the back of your head to keep it up, all right? Now, in this position, I want you to take your one foot back. Now notice the position of your body in this in this position. So just the one leg back, tighten up your core. Your body shouldn't move at all when you lift the next leg. So nice strong arms, back of the neck lifted, simply take that leg back. So as soon as you take the second leg back, watch that doesn't happen. You are going to create chaos in that lumbar spine, and you're actually going to weaken the area rather than strengthen it. Okay, so you're taking that one leg back, tighten up the core muscles, strengthen everything up, and take that leg back. Now be careful of, number one, the hips dropping. Number two, the upper body dropping, so the shoulders are up between your ears. Number three, pushing through that mid back. So you've got that thoracic spine pushing up like that. We don't want that, guys. I'd like you to have a beautiful straight line from your ear, your shoulder, your hip to your ankle. Okay, just like that. And now if you want to practice, you can bring the knees down, tighten up your tummy, one leg, then the other leg. Tighten up the tummy, one leg down, then the other leg. Do it in front of a mirror so that you can see whether you are dropping or not, guys. It is absolutely crucial to make sure you're doing these correctly for me. So practice, practice, practice. Start at level 1 and work your way through. You can always do this on your elbows as well. Same with the same ideas. So elbows on if your wrists are a bit of a problem. If you hyperextend your elbows a lot, your wrists are going to be very weak. So make sure you stop doing that. So you can be on your elbows, tighten up your core there. And now this time you'd have to drop your hips back in line with your shoulders, but then watch that doesn't happen, okay? Also in this position, you can make a fist with your hands, which helps to stabilize the shoulders a little bit more. So you can go into that plank on your elbows as well, but just watch the positioning of your body. The plank is meant to be a plank. It's not meant to be buckled. All right, good luck and let me know how it goes.